Yes, guys, what is happening? Welcome back to Vinny's Talk Show. So today we're back with another Julie Hartley-Brewer. She's coming in. She's providing the videos, and the title is "Gender Woke Nonsense: Fury at Scottish Government 24 Genders." Some of this stuff is pretty old, but old is gold. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Make sure you drop a like and a sub on this video. It'd be really appreciated. Let's do this.
Talk about, well, we do this often, don't we? Sort of the latest woke madness that goes on that people can try and say, oh, it's just silly culture wars started by the right. It's not. It's just us trying to bring sanity back to the country. Let's talk to James Esses. He's a social commentator and co-founder of Thoughtful Therapists. Good morning to you, James.
Morning, Julia.
Lovely to speak to you. So much I want to talk to you about. Can we just start with a letter that you have organised and got signed by frankly, cross-party group of MPs, peers, psychiatrists, psychologists, doctors and consultants, many others, expressing their grave concerns about the Prime Minister's plan to have a trans-inclusive ban on conversion therapy, because your worry is this is going to effectively criminalise parents who, when a kid says to them, I think I'm trans, I'm born in the wrong body, and they say, well, you're not born in the wrong body, you're not a boy when you're actually a girl, etc., that they would actually effectively be criminalised. How on earth can this be allowed to happen?
Take that in for a minute. So, you're a mum or a dad and your parent comes up to you and they say, Mum and Dad, I'm in the wrong body, I want to be a girl, but then you say, no, you're in the right body, you're a boy, etc. That is a crime. Wow. I mean, as far as it goes, this is pretty wild. I mean, it's been building up to something like this for a long time. You know, me and Jason were hitting this content 7 months ago, and back then it was still savage. But now it's just come even worse, and it's just going to continue to get worse because, you know, people like Keir Starmer coming in and stuff. It's not good. It's just going to keep growing. LGBTQ community is going to keep growing. The doctrine that everybody believes, people are getting more vulnerable to it as children hear it more. They're being fed disinformation by LGBTQ leaders, even in schools. I think this is absolutely disgusting, personally.
There was a period of time in which people could claim naivety to the harms that have been caused in the name of gender ideology, but in light of the independent cast review and elsewhere, that time is up. And so the government now are knowingly seeking to embed gender ideology further into our legislative fabric, in essence. Now, people who hear the term conversion therapy, they think of abhorrent things, corrective rape, electric shock therapy, all the rest of it. Those things are undeniably abhorrent and thankfully have long been criminalised. This bill will not stop torture, as some activists claim, because torture is already illegal in this country. This will criminalise talking therapy, conversations between a therapist and their client. And we've seen similar legislation passed elsewhere, and it's had a real chilling effect to the point that therapists are simply refusing to work with children struggling with these.
And I personally think that this is going to lead to much bigger problems for the leaders who are causing this themselves. If therapists are dropping out of their own jobs because they don't want to have to deal with these kids who have been indoctrinated by this cult, LGBTQ, and then they're confused thinking, oh, I'm this, but it's pretty simple what you are. You are your gender, what you were born as, XY or XX, boy or girl, man or woman. And it's just going to lead to more problems, less therapists, which is going to be a big problem because there's a lot of mental health that goes on in this world. Just going to cost them a lot more money as well. So I don't personally think this is a very good idea to introduce this as a law or a crime.
But I mean, look, you had your training as a therapist basically terminated. I know you won a case about this because you refused to toe the line on a lot of these issues. We're at a point when therapists are just terrified for losing their jobs, losing their license, for giving good...
Why should it have to be that way? Why should a therapist who's done it for 20, 30 years or trained for however many years, gone to schools or funded, invested in their careers have to lose their jobs or potentially risk losing their jobs because of some indoctrination that's been fed to these young children who are just confused. And it's just leading to outrage. Like, let's have a moment of silence for the poor therapists. Poor people. If they don't deserve it, be all and end all is they don't deserve it, and it shouldn't be like this. It's, they deserve better. We're failing our country well and truly. America as well. There's actually some countries who stick to their laws and abide by how things are supposed to be, and then there's some countries that just let themselves down constantly, and this is one.
Therapy, because any therapist, frankly, who is telling a child, yes, you may well be born in the wrong body, frankly, I think should be struck off because they're telling a child a lie.
Well, it flies in the face of kind of core therapeutic ethics, which is not to affirm delusional thinking. But, you're right. I was kicked out of my course and kind of excommunicated from the profession because I dared to raise concerns about potential legislation. If this legislation goes through, therapists en masse will refuse to work with these clients. And it may also, and we've seen this in Australia, end up potentially criminalising parents.
Yeah.
Who fail to affirm their child's...
And we've seen, in some American states as well, we've seen children taken away from parents who refuse to use their preferred pronoun.
That is so crazy. To me, that is so crazy. How are you going to take your child off you? How are you going to take a child off the parent because they're not using the pronouns that they prefer? That should be illegal. It's like they just flipped everything on its head. There's bigger problems that children face by parents other than misgendering them or calling them by the wrong pronoun. Your pronoun is your gender that you were born with. He or she, male, female. Damn.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't if it was my child. I've done it. I've refused to do it with a friend's child who insisted and said, I refuse to be forced to lie. I won't do it. And the child's in tears. And I said, I'm sorry, but your right to your feelings doesn't trump my right to facts. And it just doesn't. Indeed. And I think we need more people, teachers, therapists, others, to do this and not play along with this YouTube generation. And we need, certainly, frankly, more people like you who do speak up on this, because this is a massive risk. And it's a massive risk to the children. And we know the children who often think this, those children invariably, at much higher rate of autism. They're gay children who, there's some issues in their family about them being gay, children who've been abused, children who have many other mental health issues. And then people just put a label on them and, that's the solution to the problem, giving them these drugs to change their bodies forever. And it's abuse. And it's just abuse. And it's got to stop.
Well, the twisted irony is that the only conversion actually taking place are in classrooms up and down the country teaching children that they may have been born in the wrong body. Yeah. That's what Keir Starmer should be focusing his attention on, not
absolutely. Get rid of that. Well, again, what do you expect? You've got the SNP. They're apparently, they've issued new official guidance. This is a government official guidance for a whole country of 10 million people. They're claiming there are 24 different genders. They include gender fluid. Again, not a thing. Gender queer, not a thing. So this...
Yeah, it's so true. Like she says, it's just not real. It's not a thing. You can have 24 genders, but 22 of them aren't real. And like there's not even 3 genders. I won't even accept that there's 3 genders because there's 2. There's male and female. You can only have 1 or 2 chromosomes. You can only have the XY or the XX. There's 2 options. You can only have either, and either of them have names. The XY is the male and the XX is the female. Therefore, there's only 2 genders. We should base this off the facts. How many different chromosomes? Which chromosome you have? Sorry. I don't see no non-binary XYZ chromosome. Wild.
Sometimes people who believe they're something other than male or female. You can believe that as much as you want. Don't make it a thing. A combination of the 2. They could be pangender. Means your identity encompasses all possible genders at once. Again, not a thing, not a real thing. And this whole, autigender, people, a term reserved for autistic people who think about and relate to their gender label in the...
Wow.
context of autism, bigender, I mean, agender. This is abject nonsense. And we've got a government paid for by taxes, not just by Scottish people, but the rest of Britain as well, pushing this nonsense. And then we've got, as we found out today, taxpayers have paid 650 grand bill so far for public sector Pride Month celebrations. So this is things like drag bingo.
You know, if I were part of government and they were saying, right, we need to fund LGBTQ communities and we need to fund events, I would be completely against it. Like, I'd be like, nah. No way am I funding events that allow grown men to drive around on bikes naked or even walk around naked in front of young children. It's legalising paedophilia. And it's funding paedophilia. It's disgusting. It's so wrong. I don't understand how these people don't see what's wrong with this cult. Like I said, I don't have any problem with gay people. You can be gay all you want. I have 2 gay aunties. I love them to bits. I haven't got a problem with gay people. I just don't agree with the LGBTQ stuff, man. It's bad. It's so bad.
Rainbow-coloured fudge and pronoun badges, zebra stripes on pedestrian crossings, all of that nonsense. I mean, this is all madness, James.
I mean, you sound surprised, Julia, but this is the SNP through and through. You know, under Sturgeon, we had rapists in female prisons. Under Hamza Yusuf, we had pushing through self-ID. And now under Swinney, we've got this gender woke nonsense. But, you know, they're not the...
He literally just proved it. Like, Julie's, he's like, why are you surprised? We shouldn't be surprised because this crap's just going to keep happening. It's going to keep coming. It's not going to stop. We need more people to stand up, start making videos, come against this thing that's coming, come against this wrath that's coming, this storm. It's already here, actually. Just blind to it.
Party. In fact, I did some analysis, and most of our mainstream parties are led by individuals who believe that women can have a penis. So the entire political landscape is a mess. We need to go back to institutional neutrality. I mean, some of the money that's been spent, taxpayers' money on this stuff, is frankly outrageous. And for me, the most abhorrent thing is that there are increasing numbers of local councils who are voting 365 days a year to have pride flags flying and having the same state.
I'd say this office, our colleagues on Virgin, they think it's Pride Month every single month of the year. I find it utterly bizarre. I don't know when there's nothing on that flag that seems to ever relate to me. I don't know.
Okay, so we're going to leave it there. Let me know what you guys thought of this video in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching till the end. I love you guys. I'm sorry I've been off for like 2 months. Been going through some stuff. So I'm back, better than ever. So drop a like and comment on this video. I'm gonna come to your house. I'm gonna put a pride flag on your door.